One person who seemed particularly excited about Sarah Palin was Les Kinsolving, a longtime conservative journalist known for his over-the-top questions at White House press briefings. We ran into him as he prepared for his radio program in the corridor of the Excel Center.
I think one of the most significant things is the choice as vice presidential nominee of America's most gorgeous governor. And I think I am looking forward with great pleasure. I will be covering that night when she debates the senator from Delaware.
And what do you think the scene will be there when she's standing next to Joe Biden?
I think she looks a lot better than Joe Biden, but that's all right. I think she is fast enough and tough enough and clever enough to give him a good run for his money.
Kinsolving has covered political conventions for the past 14 elections. We asked him if he'd heard about the arrest of journalists here at the RNC, including our colleagues from Democracy Now! He seemed curious about the new generation of camera-wielding indie media journalists that he's seen from a distance documenting the protests as he's made his way in and out of the Excel Center every day.
I understand they arrested a few journalists, but they were let off. There are a lot of unusual journalists here.
I saw those guys from Fox News. I cannot believe it.
You've got a good sense of humor. I enjoy you very much, and you as well.
It seems clear from talking to delegates here at the RNC that the pick of Sarah Palin was intended to bring back in disenfranchised evangelicals who had misgivings about John McCain, particularly on the issue of abortion. While there's a lot of enthusiasm for Palin, not every Republican delegate is singing the same tune. It's not easy to find pro-choice delegates here, but one of them found us.
You guys should interview me. Right? My name is Doug Bennett. The Republicans, we need to modernize in order to come back, right? And what's happening right now, I really believe we're focusing too much on social issues. I think that we need to get away from the choice issue and also the gay marriage issue, right? If we're really the party of less government and smaller government, then we should be staying out of people's businesses.
It sounds like you're actually pro-choice.
I am pro-choice. I mean, I personally think that you should look. The biggest thing is this. I'm not going to tell someone what they can and can't do. We got to get back to our roots. If it's going to be about less government, all right, and we should be focusing on less government. When you're focusing on those social issues, that's big government. You're getting involved in people's lives, and that's wrong.
The crowd at the Excel Center is overwhelmingly white. The demographics here certainly stand in stark contrast to the scene in Denver last week at the DNC. There are not many African Americans here, but we did talk to one Republican delegate who's made a bit of history.
My name is John Anderson, and I come from Brevard County, Florida, and I'm chairman of the Brevard County Republican Party, the first black chairman. They've never had a black chairman.
What is it that draws you to the McCain campaign?
I'm driven by John McCain's patriotism and his experience and his courage.
What do you think of Barack Obama's candidacy?
I think it's interesting. I think it's about time. I think it's part of the evolving of this country. There are a lot of people who are not happy about it, but you know, this is something that's been said before. No lie lives forever. And the kind of things that went on, like when my grandfather was alive. My grandfather was a slave and was whipped by his owner, and his owner was not black. So that kind of thing that went on for hundreds of years doesn't go on anymore.
How long have you been a Republican for?
All my life. That's over 60 years.
It's a very different party than the one you would have joined 60 years ago.
I think so, but I didn't understand what I was doing 60 years ago. I just did it to get a rise out of my old man. You know what it's like to join the Republican Party in Harlem?
What drew you initially to the Republican Party?
Just to be different, just to be a smart aleck. You know how kids are with parents. You know, you come home with a ring in your ear or a tattoo. My old man went to the neighbors and said, "My kid's a Republican." What have I done wrong? You know.
The Republican National Convention wraps up on Thursday night with John McCain's acceptance speech. What's been interesting in talking to delegates here at the RNC is how seldom they talk about McCain. Sarah Palin stole the show. While Democrats have accused McCain of putting a small-town mayor a heartbeat from the presidency, evangelicals see it differently. To them, it's a great chance to place another right-wing born-again Christian and their agenda inside 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. For Democracy Now!, this is Jeremy Scahill with Jackie Suin in St. Paul.